G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are going to review the big game with Geelong and Hawthorn, round one. Cats owned by 30 points. We went to the game, mate, and it was a spectacular display for the first round of the season. How did we see it?
It was a roller coaster, mate. I have to
It
say how different it can be watching the game on TV, and when you're actually there, you get the raw emotion and just the atmosphere, and it gets pretty real. And I'm sure you enjoyed it, mate. I certainly did.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. We don't get to go to too many games together, but certainly will be this year with the membership happening and everything like that. But look, unbelievable stuff, mate. I'll get your thoughts first.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear your thoughts, mate. But it was fantastic to get the win and just a roller coaster sort of game, which they so often are with the Hawks.
Yeah, it's generally a bit of momentum at either side, and whoever takes advantage of their momentum generally wins. So
yeah.
The throat's struggling a little bit, so see how that all goes. Intriguing scenes. I'll discuss that on my last point. But particularly happy with the tackling, general pressure around the ball. Fantastic, and I said that in the preview, mate. That's what we have to do to beat the Hawks. Got to be all over them, be in their grill, up close and personal. Otherwise, they just get contest the ball too easy, and it's a nice easy path to goal for them. So we were able to shut off for most of the day where they were able to get through. So except for the third quarter, which is kind of disappointing, which I reckon you'll touch on more so than myself. And the forward 50 pressure just on the tackling side of things was really good to see for most of the game, where we actually, made it a bit tough for them to get out of defence, and a couple of times they got caught holding the ball, which you don't see too often. And those are sort of the telltale signs that we are a chance, considering these things are happening. Zach Smith inspired early on and getting his tackle on. So awesome to see that, and we need more of that consistently over the 22 rounds to be any kind of chance this year to shape as a good team come finals if we happen to make it. So the defence stood up really well, I thought, also for most part. When the ball hits the deck, it's a little bit worrying. We have a bit of a tall, bit of an old back line, but I think if we have a few others running through the back line, like Cowan and Guthrie running through the back line more, which he did today and did a fantastic job on Cyril, that'll be a key, because so often it's the small forwards that just get in behind the defence and can cause a few worries, which happened a bit, and it's happened a lot over round one in general. I was looking at the Brisbane and West Coast highlights, and there were so many times when West Coast got goals in 10 metres. It was crazy scenes, but no, they stood up pretty well, and the Hawks had to kick it high in the air, which they don't normally do. They generally find a hit-up target on the lead. That's their way, but the way we're playing forced them to not be able to do that, so very happy there. There was a bit too much handballing, though, unfortunately, mates, and it cost us at crucial times. We were handballing in the centre to no one, or someone on the run wasn't on the run, and they get caught up, and then they turn over, and then it looks pretty dangerous the other way when you've got to run back. So we had to just kick it a bit more, which I think we changed a bit late in the piece, but they can be very costly, and against the best team in the comp, you can't afford to do that too often. So
absolutely,
it can be dangerous, as I said. It just makes me admire Hawthorn even more. They've got so much out. But they perfected nearly everything. We saw a lot of times where they just went bang, bang, bang. No fumbles. They did have fumbles throughout the day, but in particular when they're link and chain, handball hits a target, kick hits a target, no fumbles at all. Crucial shots, they generally took them. So it highlighted the difference between us, but fortunately enough, we were able to create more opportunities and be able to capitalise on those, and we kicked very straight, which is also another big point made that I'm very happy with. 18 goals, 8, very good start and return. So, the umpires, they need to take the course again or do something. We were very fortunate to get away with the win, but they were horrible with some non-decisions with holding the ball, delivery out of bounds, but I don't like attacking umpires. I mean, I've been one myself, a goal umpire, and I'll get a very good idea on how they roll, the field umpires and basically everyone. So, my voice is struggling a little bit, but
what was that, mate? You're yelling at the umpires.
Yep. I've got to do personal time and just yelling away at Hodgie, giving me mean looks. But those are basically my fundamental thoughts on the game, mate. Very happy and still a lot to work on. That's a great thing, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's always a bit to work on, isn't there? Just ask Scotty boy. But look, it was very impressive, and the two different halves were just amazingly different, weren't they? We came out pretty well. First quarter was pretty impressive. They sort of worked their way into the game in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But still, as you said, we took our chances in front of goal and really settled and kicked away that 5-goal lead at half time.
Which helped.
We're sort of thinking, gee, look, we've been pretty impressive here. We know Hawthorn are going to come. That's when we have to respond.
Yeah, when's that going to be?
In a big way did they come back. That third quarter, I mean, they were clinical, really, that third quarter. Just the way they linked up, gave us absolutely nothing. You touched on the over handball. That was a case where we did over handball for sure, but also it was brought about by their intense pressure and sort of shell shocked us a bit, I would say. I mean, probably 10 minutes into that third quarter, we were just in damage control. They were just coming at us and we lost our way.
Yeah, we sure did.
And they made us pay, which they do to a lot of sides,
Yep.
If they're on top, they really do hurt you and punish you. But look, it was game on at 3-quarter time, and I remember saying to Dad at the game and yourself that, the third quarter was bad, and it's, that's trouble, that's worrying, they're coming at us, but the real proof in the pudding will be this fourth quarter and how we respond. And, all the hype around the Cats, are they a good side? Are they a premiership chance? Are they just going to finish 7th? How much improvement is these token players going to make in development?
Yeah, a lot of questions at 3-quarter time we're asking ourselves.
Exactly. I mean, that's the ultimate test. It's what you want to get against the best side in the comp. And the way it panned out and the script went to plan is that, 3-quarter time, that last quarter was going to tell us a lot about the club and the new side in the first round of the season. And what we got back was very impressive because we really did will our way back into it, change that momentum. Of course, the 3-quarter time break helped to sort of compose ourselves and regather everyone's thoughts. But we willed our way to find a way to win. It was great because it's not easy to turn around momentum in any game.
No, and as your old man alluded to, the old Geelong, dare we say it,
yeah,
before the other old Geelong, would have probably cracked and Hawks would have won by 6 goals.
Yeah, and it was great to see the leaders stand up. Selwood really stood up, Dangerfield, of course, and Guthrie went into the midfield, which was crucial after playing mainly defence on sort of the smaller types, and he was influential in the middle, as was Caddy, Duncan, those sort of guys lifting, and some guys like Darcy Lang just lifted as well. Murdoch, who I bagged out for much of the game, lifted in the last quarter, so credit to him.
When he had to, yeah.
And, I must touch on, of course, my favourite stats, contested ball and clearances. We won them, which was very impressive, and it's good to do because that's something that if you watch this show or look at the stats often, we're extremely bad at in recent years. So, and look, it was very good to get back on the winners list against the Hawks.
First time since 2014, I think, mate. Round 5 would have been.
And I can't not mention the tackles as well. I know you said it as well, but it was fantastic. And while we finished off well in front of goal and took our chances and started kicking the ball more, it was brought about by some really good tackling pressure as well. I think 81 tackles, which Hawthorn made as well, but I just thought our ferocity and just pressure in general, not even just tackles, was really a real set of time, I suppose.
Just being there in the proximity to be able to affect the contest in some way, shape or form.
Yeah, so no, it was really good to see. Pretty much exactly what we would have hoped to see, I would say.
Yeah, we're happy boys, that's for
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll move on to the votes anyway, and it was some good players, and it was sort of tough to decipher what we had, but we ended up with the same.
Yeah, which is crazy. Some people probably think we sit next to each other and write our votes out, but certainly not.
All independent.
Independent, and as you say, probably 7 or 8 blokes could give votes to, and we've come up with the same 3 in the exact same order. So, I mean, no surprises. Dangerfield takes my 3. Dominated with 43 touches, and just can't believe he missed those goals in the last quarter. But potential mark of the year as well. He did basically it all except finish the goal. So he was outstanding around the clearance and contested area, which we know he does. Caddy, was really impressed with him. He didn't rack it up, but we didn't have a stack of major ball winners aside from Dangerfield.
No, that's right.
I think Caddy had 21 or 22, I think, and a lot of clearances, did the hard stuff, and kicked goals, which he can be a goal-kicking mid at times.
His hand out forward.
So that was good. And Zach Smith, the recruit, was dominant. A lot of people probably wouldn't have known much about him before he came to the Cats. Been plenty written about him and things, and he was outstanding, in particular that first half.
Set it up.
Kicking goals, making his presence felt as a big man, which we've lacked at times, as good as Blitzarves was in the ruck and those guys. He's not presence. We really felt it. He's a big man and a big unit, and he threw his weight around, so it was great to see. His influence was really felt, so... Yeah, welcome to the Cats for sure.
Good stuff, mate. Yeah, well, exactly the same as I said.
Yeah.
Danger got the 43 touches, 5 marks, 5 tackles, 3 behinds, and he nearly kicked all of them, but he missed all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an absolute standout. Led from the front, just in the contest all day. 21 of those contested, mind you, and do you love a contested possession, mate? So it's not always about getting those cheap handballs out the back. So just absolute star, hard at the contest, and I loved that moment where he just sort of pointed to the umpire absolutely sternly. He got the free kick against him, which you weren't too happy at the time, but I think he felt like he deserved a free and sort of turned against him. But
I didn't even see him point. Like I didn't even know what it was for.
I don't know. He didn't see, but that's fine. You'll see it on the replay, no doubt.
Yeah,
but
probably wasn't watching at the time, but
in another world, mate. That's all right. Fantastic display. Would have been even better if you had the goals. But can't fault him for that. And Caddy, 21 disposals, 3 marks and 3 goals. I thought he was really solid through the contest, as he always is. Bobbed up and kicked 3 really important goals when they sort of had to be kicked. And he just played really well, did his role and sort of stepped up when we had to have someone step up. He'll be a really good goal kicking midfield if he plays there. I hope he plays probably 70-30 midfield forward, so we'll need him there. And 1 vote to Zach Smith. If he went on with it, he would have probably got the 3, or 2 at least. So he got the 14 disposals, 16 hit-outs, 3 tackles, and 3 goals. He just kicked very straight, and he could have easily had 1 goal too, like most ruckmen may have kicked, and he made every post a winner. And his intensity around the ball, the contest, tackles and holding the balls early in the game was just fantastic. Set us up.
Yeah, and his contested work, I think he had 13 contested possessions, so that's huge.
So 1 of them was uncontested.
Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty good. We need more of that. He's probably the best ruckman we've had since Brad Ottens. Will he try to be better than him? Who knows?
he was
great,
very,
very good today. Yeah, definitely. Moving on to your segment, mate, the shopping block.
Shopping block time.
It's always an interesting segment, and I reckon we'll see eye to eye on most of what your selections will be.
Definitely, mate. I'll start with Motlop, who...
Steve!
Yeah, he's got so much potential, yet struggles to deliver in recent times.
He's just a lazy cat.
He really is. I mean, I'm not sure what's happening. He came back to pre-season a bit overweight, and
great start.
They weren't happy with him there. And look, he looked like a guy who was a step behind it, and a guy who wasn't willing to work his way into the game and work hard to find the space. Because on the ground, he's probably in the top 3 or 4 quickest blokes out there, and he refused, the wide expanses of the G, and he refused to work hard. So
it's all up here, mate.
It is, mate. At times, he looked like a bloke who just wanted it to happen for him. It was a bit too hard at times, So
not good.
He's at his best. He's electric, and he's a match winner. I mean, this time last year, he had the drinking incident out at Colac and that, and he played very well on the Easter Monday, I think. So whatever the round 1 was,
32 touches or something.
Where this time around, he was poor. So look, we're not going to chop him, of course. You give your potentially great players a few weeks to get running, and he's super valuable at his best, but. He probably just needs a bit of a kick in the arse to get going, because it's not going to happen for him. He needs to work hard, and
he does.
Just not looking good. Shane Kirsten, he's on the block a little bit, and he impressed me a lot early, I must say.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
And look, he took a few nice marks, looked all right, but he fumbles at wrong times. He drops marks he should take, goes missing, which we know he does. And you've got a bloke like Daniel Menzel waiting in the wings. He's ready to go.
Why he didn't play is beyond me.
Yeah, no idea. So, look, Menzel surely comes into the team, no doubt. I think surely in for Kirsten, they would play a similar high half-forward role, both capable of taking one in the air as well.
Menzel can go for the midfield, not that he would too much, but
he certainly can,
It's shown to be able to do that.
And to touch on a point just finally that you raised at the start with our sluggish and tall back line, definitely Guthrie back there helps a little bit, and Kolodjasny can play well as well. But a bloke like Cowan could be an option, and it might just depend on our matchups as well. I mean, Cameron won't be there for the Giants next week. Are we going to be too top heavy? I don't know who you drop. I mean, it seems like maybe a Mackie or Kolodjasny could be a guy maybe on the out. Not that I would even think about dropping Kolodjasny. I'd drop Mackie before I would drop the youngster, because he was really good. But perhaps Cowan could be an option for that smaller defender with a bit of pace.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, so,
Definitely.
And Barty was, of course, in the emergencies too, and he was not bad through no challenge. He was okay, so a bit of depth there. But before we move into next week, it's good to see Lockie Hennis as well. We've touched on Dangerfield and Smith, and he was solid, did what he had to do, I felt, and
it
was great to see him kick that goal too.
I was probably the most confident out of the other three, but I thought, well, we're bound to kick one now, so he'll be the man to kick it.
Yeah, and he had to as well. A lot of pressure, not only at the stage of the game, but new teammates wants to do him proud, and he did.
Future first round pick on this guy, so there was a lot riding on that kick.
Yeah.
Had to kick it.
Yeah, he did well.
We'll move on to the Giants, who we have next week at Manuka Oval. I think it was like Manuka, then Star Trek, and then Manuka again, so Manuka. So we got the Giants there next week. Stevie Joe.
G'day, Steve.
It'll be a very interesting little battle there. Didn't actually know Cameron would be out. Well, I know he's been suspended for a bit, but I didn't think of him as being out. Will Patton play?
Not sure. Don't know. Yeah.
Kick 4, I think, in the 2, so He's a good chance to. It'll be interesting. We're not fantastic away. We got them there last year by 27 points, and Hawkins kicked a bag. I think he kicked 5 or 6. Pretty sure it was 5. So we'll need to be at our best, I think, to beat them. Giants a bit disappointing. Melbourne, they probably should have won that one, and they won, they got away, and they'll certainly be, cherry ripe to want to dominate us this week coming up. So, look, I can see their midfield potentially exploiting us a little bit, but down back, I think, up forward for us, down back for them, could potentially have them there, hopefully. And our defence is pretty solid, as we've said. As long as we can keep those small forwards in check, I reckon we should be able to get the win. And if you want a random tip, I'd say us by 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
No, I'd have to agree, mate. I mean, as you say, it's never easy to travel, and they're quite a promising side at their best. So, I mean, backing up all the hype that surrounded us pre-season today, you would have to tip us, of course, because a bit more experience and things like that, and we did back up a lot of the talk around us, I suppose, at least today. But it'll be no easy one, as you say. They'll be pretty keen to bounce back.
For sure, yep.
And plenty of talent on their list, and if it all clicks, they're a good side, and a quick side as well. So,
Comorius.
Yeah, but a bit more confident within what we're doing at the moment after a really good performance today. So
sounds good, mate.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the review. Geelong home by 30 points, first win against the Hawks since start of 2014. So it's good to finally get one back over them, and let's hope if we can make it to September that happens again.
It's September already, mate.
If it happens, mate. So, that's the review, guys. Thanks for sticking around for it. Feel free to give it a like and subscribe as well for plenty more reviews, doing one each week. And we're doing tips as well and answering questions as well. So if you have a really good question, ask us on our answered videos, or we'll probably have a video to get questions happening for the week. So, feel free to get onto that as well. Subscribe away. That'd be great. Thanks for hanging around again, guys, and we'll see you all next time.